Komal, sir, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Since we are looking at a Salman Khan release after 4 years, your expectations, how well will the film do when it comes to the numbers? Because you're the master maverick of number game in Bollywood. How do you think the film is going to be performed?
See, I haven't seen the film. The advance booking is fairly good. I wouldn't say it's phenomenal. Probably because, except for probably Pathan, no other film has opened too well. Even Bhola didn't open too well. So films have not been doing too well at the box office. So it's a little scary. But then there's also the other side that if a film is good, even if it may not take a good start, collections will pick up. So people are expecting the film to be good. People are hoping that the film is good and collections pick up later, which is not to say that it won't open well. It may not open to great numbers, but I think a double-digit opening is on the cards, in spite of the fact that, we call it an Eid release, but we must understand that it's releasing on a pre-Eid day. So that is probably one of the dullest days as far as the Muslims are concerned, because on the last day, many people observe fast. They don't really entertain themselves, don't go to the cinemas, etc., etc. In spite of that, I think a double-digit opening probably of 14 to 16, maybe 18 crore is on the cards. At least according to my understanding, it should be upwards of 15 crore.
Okay. So since you mentioned Pathan, I was wanting to bring in the Pathan angle a little later, but Pathan is been it has seen stupendous success, and especially post pandemic with the cinemas opening up. But after Pathan, like you rightly said, there has been a dull phase again. Do you think Salman's film is going to be able to match up to that stupendous number that Pathan has managed to achieve?
I think we shouldn't burden any film with Pathan's numbers, because then it will pale into insignificance in comparison.
Yeah.
So let's not be unfair to Salman's film. Pathan happens once in probably 5 years or 10 years. In fact, someone was asking me, Bahubali 2's record was broken by Pathan. Now, which film will break Pathan's record? So I said it could happen after 1 week or 2 weeks. It could happen after 1 or 2 years. It could not happen for maybe 10 years, so one doesn't know. It's not a science. So I think it's unfair to burden this film with Pathan's collections and compare the two. But if it opens to a double-digit figure and then picks up phenomenally on the Eid day, I think it's at least going to bring some joy to the trade, because exhibitors are very nervous. Films are not doing too well.
Mm-hmm. So, what you see of the film Kisi Ka Bhai Kisi Jaan? Of course, Salman has been a favorite, not just within the community, but even like across pan India, globally. But with this particular film, what we saw with Shah Rukh's film, they were doing less of interviews. They stopped doing any sort of individual interviews when it comes to those promotions. Salman so far has stayed away from doing those interviews. Other members of the cast have been doing that. Do you think he's taking a leaf out of Shah Rukh's book in that? Why do you think this is happening? He not doing any interviews.
No, I think he's not well. That is why. He's been
Okay.
coughing for 2 months. He's in a very bad way, in a very bad state of health. And when you cough so much, you tend to become a little listless. So I saw him at the trailer release when the entire cast had come together. He was running temperature, and he was coughing. In fact, from the media screening, in the sense the media screen at PVR Jew, he had to go to another screen in the same multiplex where there were fans assembled. They were having something for the fans. I'm told he left our screen and had to be in the lobby for some 20 minutes, or in some cabin for 20 minutes, because he just couldn't stop coughing after that. So I think it is nothing to do with what Shah Rukh did in Pathan. I think it has got a lot to do with his health. And the whole of Bombay is coughing. And I think it's just that because he's been coughing so much, he's not been keeping well, he wants to avoid giving interviews. In fact, he met the media yesterday. He was in his element. He was so, it was vintage Salman Khan, self-deprecating humor, making fun of himself, etc., etc. We had a good time, but one-on-one interviews, I think he's avoiding, because anytime those coughing fits are very irritating. Once you start coughing, it's 5 minutes and 6 minutes. It's continuously you're coughing. So I think he's avoided those interviews only because of that, health reasons.
All right. So Salman, it is a Salman film, but there are other actors and ensemble cast, and these actors boast of island of fandom within their own sort of name that they have, whether it is social media, fan following of Shehnaz, or even Raghav Juel for that matter. Palak Tiwari, Shweta's daughter, has been, favorite of the paparazzi. So all of these people come with their own elements and own sense, set of fan following. So when it comes to that angle and that aspect of Bhaijaan, how much is that going to be benefiting the
See, I subscribe to the view that fan following on social media doesn't necessarily translate into box office collections. One has seen that umpteen times. Otherwise, a film like Juk Juk Jio, I'm forgetting the name of the actress. She was a YouTuber or something, but people,
Prajakta?
yeah, Prajakta Kohli, yeah. Now, I don't think anybody went to see the film because there's Prajakta. Once you go inside and if you get somebody whom you have loved or whom you follow on YouTube or wherever on social media, it excites the audience, but no social media star is going to get the audience inside the theater on the first day. That responsibility lies completely and wholly and 100% on Salman Khan's shoulders, and I don't think he needs he needs anybody's help because he's too huge, too big. So I think that is not going to really help as far as collections are concerned.
And these tidbits of little slivers and these gossip fodder magazines throwing in certain headlines which are like clickbaits where they are talking about Salman Khan's association with the lead actor in Pooja Hegde, or Salman in the press conference hinting at Shehnaz probably having a relationship with a member of the cast. All of this, do you think is going to be working in favor of the film?
Yeah, these things work in favor of it because it only gets people to talk about the film. So, the film becomes a point of discussion. But again, as I said, finally it rests on Salman's shoulders to get the audience in. These are good tidbits, these are good gossip points, and these are good points to talk about when you're discussing the film. Are Shehnaz Gill ka ye suna kya? Are ye hua tha? Siddharth Nigam ke bare mein Salman ne ye bola. Ya, Raghav Juyal ke bare mein, he was saying that he's a good dancer, but it was very difficult for him to pick up the steps, and he's all that adds up. But as far as ticket sales are concerned, it adds up to probably 1 or 2%, not more than that.
Okay. So, Mr. Nahta, I'll just leave you with this one final question. Considering the last few of Salman's release, whether it is Radhe, whether it is Antim, hasn't really seen the kind of Dabang-like success or Wanted-like success that we've known a Salman film to garner. Do you think what is your projection saying? This is going to break that jinx that Salman Khan has seen with the last couple of films of his?
I hope so, but 1 minute, I'll correct you over here. Antim, we tend to call Antim also a Salman release. It's unfair. It was not his release. Even a special appearance. That was an Ayush Sharma release, which did reasonably well for itself. And I'm sure it'll do better numbers than Radhe. Radhe, of course, released during the lockdown. It was a fractured release in the sense they released in the cinemas for the sake of releasing, but the major release was on a platform. I'm sure whether it reaches the Dabang numbers or not, only time will tell. But I'm sure there is a bit of an excitement for this film. People are eager to see the film because it's not as if the trailer has not been liked. People have liked the trailer and the songs are doing well. Whether it's Billy Billy or Balle Balle or I Guess I'm Falling in Love or the Lungi song, these songs are doing reasonably well. All this is going to actually translate into collections, I think. And secondly, it is Salman Khan in an action-oriented role, but with the addition of a family drama, because it's a huge family. So, the trailer is giving the impression that it's going to be a family drama. So there is something. I'm so sorry. So there is something for everybody. There is something for the women audience, for the families, for the masses, of course, for Salman's fans. There will be plenty and action for the masses, etc. So I get this sense that it'll open well and it'll do good numbers, if not great numbers. Great or good, actually, one will be able to decide only when one sees the film. But from the trailer and from the buzz, I think it'll do decent numbers.
So I also think that Salman must have thought about it because the film was supposed to release in December 2022. He chose to hold on to the release till Eid this year. So he must be actually doing the maths also. Probably he also knows that people are waiting for a Salman Eid release. right?
Of course, one is that he knows that people are waiting, and Eid and Salman make for a deadly combination. And secondly, he was mentioning that a lot of visual effects, a lot of computer graphics, which took longer than he had expected. In fact, he cracked a very cute joke. He said, "मैंने मेरे पापा को पहले दिखाई थी picture with a blue screen and all," and he's saying, "ये तू ऐसे release करेगा? ये blue screen ऐसे?" Because he belongs to an era when there weren't too many visual effects and computer graphics. So he said, my father got a little rattled. "तू ऐसे कैसे दिखा सकता है? ये तो नहीं चलेगी ऐसे." So he said, "नहीं नहीं अभी आएंगे." So I think it's taken longer than they had calculated and than they had expected. That is also one more reason, and of course, Eid and Salman, fingers crossed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nahta, for doing this. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.